Welcome to Dark Rule Stories, where every rule exists for a reason. Break it and face what should never be found. The rule was explained to me before I even finished unloading my bag. "Doesn't matter how tired you are," Hank said, leaning against the fence with a cigarette burning down between his fingers. "Doesn't matter if you hear something or think something's wrong. When the bell rings after sunset, you stay in the bunkhouse." I nodded, assuming it was about wildlife. Coyotes, maybe. Or drunken locals passing through. "What about emergencies?" I asked. Hank exhaled smoke through his nose. "That is the emergency." The ranch stretched wider than anything I'd lived near before. Miles of open land, dry grass bending under a constant wind, cattle dots scattered like forgotten thoughts. During the day it felt honest. Simple work, feed, fences, repairs. No mystery. 'Twas at night that the place changed. The bunkhouse sat a short walk from the main barn. From my window I could see the far pasture and the old water trough near the tree line. No lights out there, just dark. That evening, while we ate, I noticed no one joked once the sun dipped low. Forks scraped plates. Someone checked their watch every few minutes. At exactly 8:17, the bell rang. Not loud, not urgent, just one slow, hollow note drifting across the ranch. Conversation stopped. "Bell's early," someone muttered. "Doesn't matter," Hank said. "Everyone inside." I followed them, feeling foolish for the knot in my stomach. As the door shut behind us, I realized something else. No one locked it. Later, lying in my bunk, I heard movement outside. Slow footsteps in the dirt, heavy, deliberate. I sat up, heart pounding, and remembered the rule. Every ranch hand followed it. No one ever explained why. The footsteps passed the bunkhouse without stopping. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, counting my breaths until the sound faded into the wind. No one else moved. No whispers, no questions. It was as if we'd all silently agreed that pretending not to hear was safer than knowing. Morning came clean and bright. Over breakfast, the ranch felt normal again. Someone complained about the coffee. Another joked about a loose bull near the south fence. I finally worked up the nerve to ask, "Who walks the property at night?" I said. No one answered. Hank set his mug down carefully. "You heard that then? So it's a person?" I asked. He shook his head. That was all he said. Later that afternoon, I was fixing a broken post near the far pasture when I noticed something strange in the dirt. Deep impressions. Bare footprints. Too wide, too long. They dragged slightly, like whoever made them hadn't fully lifted their feet. They led toward the tree line, toward the trough. I followed them without thinking, the wind hissing through dry grass. The trough was empty, bone dry despite the pump running nearby. Scratches marked the metal rim, long uneven lines as if something had gripped it too hard. "You're not supposed to be out here alone," a voice said behind me. I turned. It was Eli, one of the older hands. His eyes flicked toward the trees. "Bell rings early tonight," he said. "You hear it, you drop everything. Understood?" "What happens if someone doesn't?" I asked. Eli's jaw tightened. "Then the rule changes." That night the bell rang earlier than before. 8:03. The sound lingered longer this time, vibrating through the ground. As we filed into the bunkhouse, I noticed one bed empty. "Where's Mark?" I asked. No one met my eyes. Outside, something exhaled near the wall, slow, wet, and patient. I did not move. I followed the rule. Mark's bed stayed empty the next morning. No one said his name. His boots were gone. His locker stood open, clothes still folded neatly inside, like he'd stepped out for a minute and forgotten to come back. I caught Hank outside the barn, oiling a hinge. "He leave?" I asked. Hank didn't look up. "No." The word landed heavy. "What did I hear last night?" I pressed. "Near the wall." He wiped his hands on a rag. "That was it. It? I echoed. He finally met my eyes. The thing that keeps the rule. Work dragged. The sky stayed overcast, the kind of gray that flattened everything. Around late afternoon, clouds rolled in fast, swallowing the horizon. Wind picked up. Cattle grew restless. At 7:40 the bell rang. Too early. Everyone froze. That's not right, Eli muttered. Sun's still up. Hank was already moving. Inside. Now. As we crossed the yard, I heard shouting far off toward the south fence. A voice. Human. Help. Hey, someone help me. I stopped without thinking. It was Mark. Don't, Eli hissed, grabbing my arm. He's alive, I said. He needs help. The bell rang again. Longer this time. The shouting cut off mid-word. Silence rushed in, thick and wrong. That night, sleep was impossible. The bunkhouse felt smaller, like the walls had leaned in. Around midnight, I heard it close right outside the door. Breathe in, slow, controlled. Then a voice, careful and almost kind. Rules for your safety, it said, using Hank's voice perfectly. Open up. My hand shook inches from the handle. From the bunk across the room, Eli whispered, barely audible, if it learns you, it keeps you. The doorknob turned once, just enough to test it. Then it laughed, low, satisfied, and walked away. In the morning, deep grooves scarred the dirt outside. Bare footprints, leading in circles around the bunkhouse, like it had waited all night. The grooves were gone by noon. Wind and hooves erased most of them. But I could still see where something heavy had shifted its weight again and again, right outside our door. No one mentioned it. The silence around the ranch had changed, tighter now, like everyone was holding the same breath. Hank gathered us near the barn before dusk. Rule still stands, he said. Bell rings, you're inside. No exceptions. What about when it lies? I asked. A few heads turned. Hank studied me for a long moment. That's why the rule matters, he said. It can sound like anyone, but it can't make the bell ring twice unless it's close. The sun slid behind the hills faster than it should have. At 7:12 the bell rang. Panic rippled through the group. Too early. The sky was still burning orange at the edges. We moved anyway. Halfway to the bunkhouse, I heard my name. Not shouted, not whispered. Spoken the way my father used to say it when he wanted my attention without raising his voice. I stopped. Eli's hand clamped onto my shoulder. Don't turn, he said. I just want to talk, the voice said, closer now. You're new. You don't understand the rule yet. The ground behind us creaked. Slow steps, confident. The rule isn't for us, I said, forcing the words out. It's for you. Silence. Then something shifted, annoyed. The bell rang again right above us, hanging from the post by the bunkhouse door. The sound was sharp this time, angry. Whatever stood behind us retreated, footsteps dragging back toward the dark. We went inside. The door closed. Still no one locked it. That night, I slept. In the morning, Hank told me my contract was up early. Paid in full. You followed the rule, he said. That's all we ask. As I drove away, I looked back once. The ranch sat quiet and wide, just land and fences and cattle. Behind the bunkhouse, something waited for the bell, and it would keep waiting as long as everyone remembered the rule. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe. And if you carry a story you want told, email me at darkrulestories@gmail.com.